Welcome to the Chain Out Podcast with your hosts, Jeremy and Daryl.
Hey, everybody. It is Jeremy and Daryl, your favorite hosts of the Chain Out Podcast. Welcome to Season 3, Episode 118. How you doing, Daryl?
I'm living the dream, Jeremy. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Ready for another awesome episode tonight, but I have a question to start us off.
Okay. Multiple choice?
No,
No?
it's just a straight up.
Okay.
Did you ever collect trading cards growing up?
Stickers was a big thing in England, but I did buy some cards, but we didn't collect them like your fanatics over here.
Oh, not like the North American side of the pond.
No.
No. Well, I did collect some cards. I collected baseball, Marvel Comics. They put out a few series of cards. I collected those. I even collected Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cards.
Apparently they're heroes in a half shell.
They are turtle power. Well, you know how I throw my signed discs?
Yes.
And we always talk about whether that's a contentious issue or not,
Yeah.
whether they should be on a wall or I should throw them. I think this has been in my blood since I was little.
Okay.
Because when I was at recess, I would take my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cards and I would play games where we'd throw them to see who could get closest to the wall. And whoever got closest to the wall got to keep both cards.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So we would do that type of thing. And I might have also used packing tape because I thought I was going to preserve my cards and took a coil book and packing taped them all into this book. So do you think that's the way to preserve cards? Probably
not.
But yeah.
Yeah.
That was my trading card experience.
Yeah, exactly. Well, tonight's guest, Jeremy, could have taught you the right way to preserve those two-minute trading cards. Ryan O'Neill is one of the co-founders of Brixton Disc Golf. Brixton is the authorized trading card partner of the PDGA and the DGPT. Did you know that?
That's cool.
Yeah, he'll be joining us in about 15 minutes.
Yeah. Well, and what do we got? Hello to our listeners, those chain links out there. How's everybody doing tonight? And
Oh, everybody's full of beans in the chat. Yeah, we got Sonia, we got Doc, Dina's in the chat, Mike is in the chat. Of course, Tobin's in the chat. He knew he was going to be on tonight.
yeah, he says Flixies. That's exactly what it was. And he knows because it's an Ontario thing, that's for sure.
We used to do the same type of thing, but with different. Like we played marbles.
Yeah, I did marbles as well.
And we used to throw marbles and you used to get closest to the wall.
Oh, we
like
dig a
that.
pot in the ground and we'd put them, you'd have to put them into the pot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was almost like disc golf with marbles.
Yeah, maybe that's where it all started.
Yeah, it could have been. So anyone out there in the chat, did you get a chance to play this past week? And if you did, tell us where you played and how it went. We'd love to see that in the comments. Daryl and I were actually out at Tundra Toss number 5 this weekend, but we didn't get to play together, did we?
We did not play together.
No, we did not get to. Well, why don't you tell everybody why that was and what you got up to at Tundra Toss, Daryl?
As people were probably aware now, I'm the vice president of the Edmonton Disc Golf Association. Yes. So it was part of my duty. Not that I volunteered. I helped set up the course. I helped. What?
He said duty. No, sorry. Go ahead.
I was out there helping set up the course, putting out the signs, all that type of thing. We got everything ready. Welcomed everybody in. We had the, is it too soon to say? We had the gold medal hockey game playing first thing in the morning.
Yep.
And then when the round started, as people know, last week, I was caddying for Kristen Swirls.
Yes.
Yeah, I quite like caddying. I'm beginning to almost get to the point where I think that I like not playing more than I like playing.
Really?
Because I asked Brock, the president, the same thing about the fact that he's running all these events. Does he miss playing? And he said he gets just as much enjoyment for setting the event up and making it run. And I think I'm kind of getting in that boat as well. Like I like setting up the events. I was learning from Brock at the event as well, learning Tournament Central, Tournament Manager, all those type of things.
Okay.
Caddying for Kristen. I've caddied for you a couple times, That
was the very first tournament where we really spent some time together. You were caddying for me.
I think probably what it comes down to is those who can do,
and those who can teach
or caddy or organize. So yeah,
nice.
But it was also a Tundra Toss. It was also Welcome Day.
Yes.
For the Edmonton Disc Golf Association, and you know what Welcome Day means?
It means you get to get your new tags for the year.
Yes, we got our new tags for the year. We went a different route this year. We went to 3D printing. Seems to be the new thing now. We got them all in nice, very bright, vibrant colors.
Okay.
Same as before, all broken down into hundreds different colors. And last year, when I was the communications member on the board, I said, "Do we get to pick our own own numbers. So we got to hand pick the number that we wanted, and I liked 13. That was my lucky number. So I was
Right.
started off with 13 last year. This year I said to Brock, "Oh, do we get to pick our numbers again?" And he said, "Well, you don't." I was like, "Oh, why?" And he's like, "Because you're the vice president." And as tradition set up by Travis Bouchard, who when
Yes.
he was the vice president, I start with the gold number 1 tag.
Yes, you
so
do.
take a photo, because this will be the last time you see me holding the number 1 tag.
So has anybody put a bounty out there to say they want to play you yet?
There's been somebody that's wanting to get on that bandwagon straight away. Somebody who held it last year.
Okay.
But I'm making a stipulation is that I'm not going to play with anybody on the board.
Okay.
I'm not going to play with anybody probably in the top 10 to 20, maybe even 30 of the standings last year. I'm going to play with us normal people down at the bottom end of the table. Going to give people a chance to win the number 1 tag before it, eventually makes its way back
Give
down
us
to
us common folk a chance to,
Exactly.
to win the tag.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I appreciate that. It'll be exciting to see how many people want to join you and who ends up on that first card for the tag.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I was playing Tundra Toss when I was down there, and it was cold. It was the weather that we expected for a Tundra Toss, minus 16 Celsius, plus the wind chill, made it for a cold round. I got to play round 1 with Jared Nodder, the winner of the MPO. He was joining us.
Yeah.
And also played with friend of ours, Duncan Holness, and a new MA40 Rocky Bolin. Not new to the sport, but new to PDGA.
Okay.
He's been playing for, 15, 20 years from Calgary.
Yeah.
And he got his PDGA membership this year and wanted to get a rating, and he drove all the way up from Calgary to play in the cold
Yeah.
to drive all the way back home.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a good event.
It was. And we played round 1, and then round 2, got a chance to play with Nick Legault and again with Rocky. I improved in the second round.
Yeah.
We got a couple extra pars on the MA40 card, so I ended up shooting a nice even round.
Yeah.
But the exciting thing was I did something that I've never done in disc golf before.
You got a legitimate ace?
No, that'd be cool. What I did was I found myself on the podium. Woot, woot. Oh, I don't know if I can put this on over my headphones here, but I got third place in the MA40 division, and
Good for you.
Very excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice Tundra Toss.
And there was
Bronze
more than
medal.
3 people in the division, just so everyone knows.
Yeah, just to clarify.
So yeah, that was exciting for me. And do you
Yeah.
think that on DG or on PDGA, I'll get like career thirds? Is that going to show up on there?
Maybe if you send them an email.
Okay, because I don't have any career wins yet. So
Right. Well, do you know, believe it or not, there were actually 7 tournaments this past weekend in Canada.
Okay.
Starting to ramp up a bit now.
Yeah.
Yeah. 4 of those were ice balls. Obviously, we had Tundra Toss here in Edmonton. One of those ice balls was run by our good friends out in St. John's, Newfoundland.
Ah, those are my boys.
Yeah. Newfoundland.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
Now, you may remember we chatted about them before when they had their club finals, which basically sounded like a bit of a session at Niven's pub with some disc golf that was getting in the way.
Yes, I do remember that. It
remember
sounded
that?
great.
Yeah. That sounds like our type of tournament. So, you know what we didn't realize the last time we chatted about those Newfoundland peeps?
What was that?
Not only was there a McNiven's pub,
Okay.
there's also a McNiven's disc golf course.
Oh, interesting.
Sounds about right,
Yeah.
right? It was voted the second best course in Newfoundland and Labrador in 2025. Now, it sounds like, I'm going to make this up, but it sounds like McNiven must own the whole town. I don't know who McNiven is or where it comes from, but there's a McNiven fresh produce.
Really?
Yeah. There's a McNiven mountain bike trail.
Yeah.
And there's even a street called McNiven Place.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, there wasn't too much more posted about the tournament, but we know Ed Hartling, who did it, he must have put on a good event, and we know they must have raised some money and some food for the food bank, and I'm sure everybody had a good time while they were out there.
Yeah, that sounds like a great tournament. We know that they have a lot of fun out there on the true East Coast.
At the Atlantics.
Yes, in the Atlantic.
Yeah.
Another tournament that took place over the weekend was hosted by friend of the show, and I'm wearing a hat here, John Pytel. It was the Eddyville Super Spin BYOP doubles event. And Daryl, do you know what BYOP means?
Bring your own putter.
No, not bring your own putter, but
Well,
you're close. There's a bring your own. You got 3 of the words right.
I'm guessing because it was doubles, it must mean bring your own partner.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Okay.
Yeah, good job. So John and his team were out there. They were grooming the trails. I saw some pictures, and they were really well groomed, almost like a ski hill.
Right.
The trails to the holes, and they made it a 3-round 1-day tournament. But
What?
each round was only 10 holes.
Oh, okay.
So they just they made one. You know how at Super Spin they make like hybrid courses, and they did that. So probably came up with 10 great holes. Round 1 was best disc doubles. Round 2 was alternate shot.
Okay.
And then round 3 was best score. And I was trying to think, do you think that was like you and your partner play individually, maybe add your scores together, and the lowest combined score versus the other teams? Like, because I just don't know what best score versus best disc doubles would be different.
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyways,
If you know, let us know.
Yeah, and they did do lunch. They had snacks and drinks, and John has told us that it's a family affair out at Eddyville. His wife and friends and everyone helps and volunteers to make a good meal and get everybody fed.
Nice. Well, if we switch over to our pro news, if you've been watching social media, you know the pros are getting ready for their first tournament of the year down at the Supreme Flight Open. I've seen Sophia Donica, Karen Martell, Kat Murch, Aaron Gossage, Ezra Adaho, of course, all putting out great content. Now, it starts on Friday, and the tournament is full. 96 MPO, 44 FPO, and it seems pretty deep in talent, Jeremy. I had to scroll. We sorted it by rating, and we had to scroll quite a way down to recognize a name to see a name that I didn't recognize.
Well, and you know a lot of players. You've watched disc golf for years.
Right.
So
Yeah. No disrespect, but Harper Thompson was a name that I'm not familiar with.
Okay.
So, yeah, Harper Thompson on the MPO side, 1023 rated, and Kylie Cahoot on the FPO side, 928 rated. So,
All right.
yeah.
Well, maybe
nice.
we'll get a chance to know them. Maybe there'll be some underdogs for this tournament or something.
Maybe, yeah. You can follow along all weekend, watch PDGA live, check the social media, cheer on our Canadians that are playing, Sophia Donica, Rebecca Dawn, and of course Karen Martell.
Yeah, fantastic. We'll be doing just that. Now, Chain Out is sponsored by 2 amazing sponsors this year. We've got BR Disc Golf helping us out. They have let us know, Brendan had said, that there's going to be an announcement of the BR team. It's exciting to see who's going to be on there. He said, rest assured, they are all awesome people who do a lot for the community, and they're excited to announce it. Also, I was perusing the website looking for another gem, and I found a gem, and it was a Discraft Paul Macbeth Super Color Luna. And I didn't know that's what they called them, but Super Color is when like they do those Halloween buzzes and they're full color prints.
Oh, right. Kind of like the Wally's 100 disc that we got.
Yeah, like the sparkle foil Wally's there. So they look pretty awesome. And you know, when you think about a Luna, it's a putter. There's that Wally 100.
Kind of like that.
It's a putter, but we've got a friend out there, Tyler Edwards, who can play all of Rundle Park with a putter. So maybe a Luna is what you need. And if you do, head over to BR Disc Golf. They'll help you out. On the other side, we have Disc Republic as another awesome sponsor. And when I was talking to Jason, he's got a whole ton of new MVP product out, and it's just flying off the shelf and tons of pre-orders happening. They've got Simon's Boca, Eagles Engine, and they're moving quickly. On top of that, they've got pre-orders for the 2026 OTB Open discs. We just talked about Aaron Gossage. They got Goose's disc up there, and even some Lab Coat discs as well. And beyond all that, fitting for tonight, he's got Brixton cards, he's got previous sets, and he's got an order for the new sets whenever they start shipping out.
Perfect.
So what do? Head over to either website, pick up what you need, use the code CHAINOUT, and that is our promo code that will help us and allow you to get some cool stuff and help out the podcast at the same time.
Absolutely.
We said we'd have you covered this year. We got you covered.
We got you covered.
Yeah.
Well, finally, it got up there, Jeremy. Our Project 15 giveaway is on social media, on the Instagram. If you're a paid member of our Patreon, you're already entered into the draw. If you want to go and check out the Instagram post, you can get double entered. You can also enter by following us on our socials, tagging a friend. And if you've never played P15, that's okay. One of the stipulations to win the disc is you have to put in a hole from the Project 15 course.
And not just a number, right?
Not just the number. Put in the name of the hole, because we know all the holes are named out there, right? And if you don't know the course, if you don't know the names, just search YouTube. You'll find a couple
There
of videos.
are a ton of videos out there
Exactly.
that'll name it.
Yeah.
There's one where Gabe gives you the full history of the course, and it's worth the watch.
Oh, absolutely.
And then if you do win, you're going to get this
Color Glow Champion Firebird.
Firebird 9304. You're going to get a mini. You're going to get a bag tag, and you're going to get a sticker.
You got it.
Yeah, awesome.
And then this is some. Well, we'll maybe we will look into this. But if no, we're not going to do that.
Okay. Well, what are we going to do after this episode?
After the episode, as I mentioned before about our Patreon, if you head over to Patreon, we're going to do our Around the Basket episode. We're going to talk disc golf. We're a bit more laid back over there. We get the chat involved. Sometimes we'll let the chat steer the conversation as well.
That's right.
And we have a quiz tonight as well.
I do. I put together a quiz. It's not Silhouette Silahoo for everybody who's excited about it, but we're going to test some knowledge on the Disc Golf Pro Tour, how well you know your tournaments. That's my teaser. But I think it's time to end the top of show. Do we have a guest in the green room, sir?
The green room, yeah, he's in the green room. He's throwing empty bottles of water against the wall. I think he's drank all the
is he
water.
doing bottle flips?
Yeah, he's doing bottle flips.
All right, gotcha. Has he landed one yet? Do we make him stay in the green room?
He got two on top of each other.
Oh, wow. Okay, he's
that
ready.
amazing.
He's ready. So tonight's guest took a passion of his and combined it with his love of disc golf and came up with a way to work in disc golf without actually being on tour. That wasn't the way he did it. He has created the coolest trading cards out there, disc golf trading cards. We are lucky enough to have some Brixton cards out there with our favorite Canadians on them, including Thomas Gilbert, Sophia Donica, Chantal Badinsky, and even Elaine King. We're excited to learn more about our guest and about Brixton cards, so join us in welcoming Ryan O'Neill to the show.
Hey, Ryan, how you doing?
Hey, guys, how are y'all?
Yeah, we're doing fantastic. Glad you could join us. We're excited to talk to you, find a bit more out about you and about Brixton. So, yeah, we're having a good night.
Yeah. So, Ryan, we're
happy to be here.
Oh, yeah, you betcha. Well, we're just wondering, I know we talked a little bit earlier, but you said you're joining us from Texas tonight. Is that where you hail from? Is that home for you?
I'm currently in Texas. Me and my wife just had a baby, and
Congrats.
we had the baby here in Texas, but we live in Arkansas. So we'll be going back to Arkansas here soon, permanently, but we're still kind of bouncing around right now.
Okay. Well, yeah, in Texas and Arkansas, that's a little bit of distance from each other. I'm doing a little bit of U.S. travel down to Memphis, so getting familiar with that little corner of Tennessee, Arkansas, and Mississippi there. So there's a bit of space between the two.
Yeah, you won't be far. We can maybe meet up in Jonesboro or something.
Nice. Well, when you're out in Arkansas, where is it that you tend to play the most? What's kind of your home course out there?
Arkansas is tough. So I'm in a town of about 2,000 people in the mountains, and to get to anywhere, we kind of it's like 45 minutes anywhere. You kind of have to go around this big lake. It's 45 minutes to the closest town that way across the north side, and then if you try to go to the southern side, it's 45 minutes that way. So every course is about 55 minutes from it. And there's some really great ones in Northwest Arkansas and even Missouri. So we're close enough to even play with that some. Branson is about an hour and 15 minutes for me, and there's a great group of guys up there that play in some really great courses up there. But close to where I am, it's tough. There's one called J Beast. It's at, I believe, JB Hunt Park, which is like a trucking company. But that's a great course. There's a really cool pro shop there on the course. But there's like a 9-hole for you can go warm up there, and then there's an 18-hole. But God, I forget the name of the big tournament up here. But it's like the Northwest Arkansas Open. And it's at that course, or at least one of the courses they play.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So the Northwest Arkansas, the NWAO is probably what that one is or something.
Exactly.
They always turns into initials eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's great. Well, Ryan, on the Chain Out podcast, we always like to find out how our guests got into disc golf, but we do it a little different. We just don't come out and ask you. We create these elaborate Chain Out origin stories. So they're usually based on a movie. Our listeners will try to guess the movie while you just sit back and relax, and then we'll find out how close we were on any of our really crackpot researched facts that we put in there. So we're going to do that for you here. Now, I'll tell you, this week's movie choice, just to let everybody know, it might be a little too soon for us Canadians, but I'm going to do it anyways, Daryl.
Go for it.
I'm going down this road. So, Ryan, maybe growing up, you were always a fan of trading cards. You watched as the mighty baseball cards dominated the market year after year. Your sport, disc golf, was always the underdog. You'd watched attempts at getting disc golf cards off the ground constantly be thwarted by the hammer and sickle that were baseball cards. You saw the other scattered and ragtag attempts and said, I could take this idea and turn it into something. Like a coach, you quietly worked on your cards, trying new things, practicing your craft. You were fond of quotes to inspire you and your team of disc golf cards, including, if we went up against baseball cards 10 times, they might win 9. But not this time, not tonight. Slowly, your card offering grew and your product improved until it was the best darn trading card out there. You pitched your cards to the disc golf pros saying, great moments are born from great opportunity, and that's what you have here tonight. The pros were inspired and became partners in your company. This really felt like a marvel, a phenomenon, a wonder, or maybe even a miracle. Now, maybe that's not how you got into disc golf and trading cards, so why don't you tell us how it really happened, and why don't we start with how you personally got into disc golf?
Man, you really nailed it. No, I'm kidding. I got into disc golf. I went to college in Lafayette, Louisiana, and a few of my buddies growing up in high school and stuff, they went there as well, and we all got a job at the same pizza place. It was called Italian Pie, and there was a few of them in Louisiana. Shout out Reggie, the owner. He was cool. But we all worked there, and there was this guy named Tyler that worked there, and he was always talking about disc golf, disc golf, disc golf. And this was like in 2004, 2005. So eventually, like, we got like one disc, and we went out to the course, and there was a 9-hole on campus. Gosh, I can't recall the name right now, but it was a little 9-hole. It was a lot of fun, and we'd go out there and just bogey everything in this little 9-hole, and it was fun. And then we got out of school, and we'd figure out different ways for us to like all meet up because we all went across the country and lives, and we would figure out tricks for us to like meet up, and one of those reasons was disc golf, and the other was like fantasy drafts and stuff. So we would play, but even then it wasn't like too serious. It was just like we'd go out with our buddies, and then I remember we met up for my bachelor party, and my buddy had been playing like a lot, and he was like way better than me. So I was like, I'm gonna like train like crazy over like the next 3 months, and I'm gonna beat him. And I got close, but I didn't beat him. And then I just kind of been hooked ever since, Yeah, that's the disc golf story.
So back in those early days, like what sort of we've heard stories before of people just going to like their local dollar store, getting the frisbee, like an Arubi frisbee sort of thing, and starting with those. What type of disc did you start with? Were they actual disc golf discs, and do you remember what they were?
Yeah, I had a Innova Champion Valkyrie.
Okay.
And I think I traded like a Hot Pocket for it. Like, I definitely didn't go to the store and pick it up. So I was probably like trying to barter.
Yeah.
but I still have it. I
Excellent.
lost it once in Utah, and this really nice guy found it and sent it back to me.
Oh, that's
Shout
awesome.
out, nice guy.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I don't know who got the better deal. The
Yeah.
guy that got the Hot Pocket, or you getting the Valkyrie, and then look where you are now. Yeah,
Hmm. Well, I would say,
Dude,
Daryl, too.
I still have that Valkyrie.
he
Yeah,
doesn't have the
Sorry, I
Hot
still
Pocket.
have the Valkyrie. That hot pocket is long gone.
that's a fair point.
Yeah,
Well, when you were talking about starting out at a pizza place, I was just waiting for you to tell us, we would take the dishes that the pizzas would sit on in the oven, and we'd take them out to the course and throw them and give them a try.
yeah.
Reggie would have lost it, man.
That's awesome. Do you remember, like back in the day? Obviously, you were playing. Were you watching much disc golf? Like, did you get out to any courses? Were there any pros that you knew at the time? Was there one that you followed? Anything like that?
No, so some of the discs we had would have like a pro's name on it.
Hmm.
And I think man, I think I remember Elaine King
Right.
um being on those, and this was like 2004, 2005, so maybe I'm wrong, but like I feel like I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a long time ago, but there was definitely some names on some discs, so I knew that existed.
Right.
Um, but it certainly I certainly didn't have easy access to it.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there wasn't the YouTube videos and everything that we have now that we
Yeah.
were
And
so lucky.
social
And even if
media.
it was starting out, it was probably hard to find.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
I probably would have had to order a DVD on a magazine. So
I
Yeah.
was going to say a VHS, maybe. No,
Yeah.
I think we
Well,
were
I
probably
think you're a
past
little bit
that. Yeah,
older.
I'm a little
Yeah.
older.
I tried, but they wouldn't take my hot pockets.
I love it.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, that's fantastic. That's how you got into disc golf. But let's shift the focus now a little bit to Brixton. Can you tell us a little bit
Business.
about Brixton disc golf origin story? How closely Jeremy got in the intro to that all coming about?
Okay, so if we start back like to when like me and my dad would collect cards, like we'd go after school and stop by the card store and pick up a pack or something.
Hmm.
We didn't buy like boxes or expensive cards, but like just the thrill of opening a pack, you know. And then the guys, it was a really small town. I look back and I'm just surprised we even had a card store. But the guys were super nice. Like it was a coach from our high school who coached not my soccer team, but my sister's soccer team. So we were like familiar with him, but it was just fun, like just being a kid, getting to go in there and cut up with the adults, talk sports, and get excited to pull cards. It was fun. So then I, you know, I got interested in the pros, and honestly, I found like I feel very like disconnected from most sports, and I don't connect much to these NFL players that have just been making so much money there since they've been like basically coming out of high school, you know.
Yeah.
So that I really didn't connect, but I did connect to like the disc golfers, and like I they were just pumping out so much content, and yeah, I just was a big fan of them, and I just liked them, so I wanted to collect their cards. Like I saw they were out there, and there wasn't many, but I started collecting, and it was real fun. It was real cheap. Like I've I remember you could get like a Paul Macbeth autograph card for like $10. Like nobody
Okay.
knew what they had, and
Yeah.
yeah, and during that time, like I saw that same Paul Macbeth card start going for hundreds of dollars. So it was just this huge adjustment in the market that happened like right in front of us.
Hmm.
And my good friend who was playing disc golf in those early days, he's always helped me with all my like ideas, you know, and he's always made them better. I would come up with this, and then he would kind of turn it into that. It's always great working with him. And so I was like, man, I think there's a real opportunity here for disc golf cards, like I'm very connected to these players. Other people are, I'm sure, are feeling very connected to them. And they want to collect them. So we had like this I'd say pretty bad plan, but looking back, I'm like, well, it worked out. But it was just a really like ragtag plan. I was like, we're gonna make the designs, we're gonna get them printed, and then we're just gonna show up to these tournaments, and that's what we're gonna do. And he was like, all right, let's do it. So we start we started with the that journey, and as we're making like social media posts, OTB started getting interest. Like they would start engaging with our posts and stuff about disc golf cards, which were just like eBay links.
Hmm.
And eventually we had a conversation, and that conversation, like they wanted to make cards and we wanted to make cards, and it just turned into really great opportunity for both of us to kind of play this idea out. We were hungry and wanted to do it, and they wanted a cool product featuring their players, and so we were like, yeah, we'll do it for free just to make it happen and
Right.
see if there's something there. And there was something there, and we've
Yeah.
been trying to catch up ever since.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that's fantastic. You kind of touched on it there a little bit. You were mentioning about these Paul Macbeth cards and other, maybe some other pros had cards or whatever. Do you know where those cards were coming from? Were they manufacturer cards of their own players, or was there another disc golf trading card company at the time? Like, do you want to give us a little bit of history from what you know?
Yeah, yeah. The first disc golf cards that I know about are from, I believe, 1992 and 93.
Wow.
There was a guy in Southern California named Will West who manufactured the cards, and they were called disc cards.
Okay.
And it they were it was a great product. It's like Ken Climo's rookie card. But if you tell Ken Climo like, hey, I've got your rookie card, will you sign it? He'll be like, that's not my rookie card. So it's there's always there's opinions about what's a real rookie and what's not. But Will
Yeah.
West made the first ones back in the early '90s, and then somebody made like a deck of cards
Okay.
Okay.
that had players on one side. And so, that's kind of considered cards,
Yeah. Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah.
People collect them. And then in 2010, Topps Allen and Ginter product came out with a card for Avery Jenkins. And that was the first time that like a piece of a disc was put into a card.
Oh,
So
wow.
Okay.
that card from 2010, yeah, that for me is like just one of the best cards there are. And I believe in 2013, Leaf started making, or 2011, one of those years. It was an odd year.
Yeah.
Leaf started making cards with Ken Climo, and then Topps Allen and Ginter came back, made a card with Paul Macbeth and Valerie Jenkins, and then Leaf picked up Greg Barsby
Okay.
and then Ricky.
Yeah.
And the DGPT started making cards in 2016, and we started making cards in 2022.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, that's
the,
awesome.
the
Fantastic.
complete history of disc
Yeah.
golf cards.
Yeah, we have a couple comments in the chat here. Kristen says, that's a very cool story, Ryan. You speak so well about it. Obviously, you're passionate about it. Thanks for sharing. And then people are like, yeah, agree.
Thank
It
you,
would be a
Kristen.
blast to play around with you, just to just to kind of pick your brain and learn about the history of
Yeah.
disc golf and where it all started. So not disc golf, but
We're
the cards.
Yeah, we're so glad that you actually have that history too,
Yeah.
because it was, I did, as doing my research, I could see a couple of those older cards, and it's kind of going to lead me into my next question. I've got a bit of a lead up. I'm always the talky guy, but like I remember when I was younger living in Ontario, and we would drive down to Florida for Christmas. And as a kid, one year I'd saved up all my money. We went to like a flea market or something. I bought 2 cases of 1993 Upper Deck baseball cards. I opened them all, put them in one of those cardboard card boxes that holds a ton of cards, and that's where they sat for 33 years. Now, unfortunately, there are not many valuable cards from that year. I think that was when they were really getting popular and putting out tons of cards. I always hoped I'd have like a rookie sensation, like a sleeper card or something. And saying all that to get to this question, Ryan, and that is, when you looked back at those old cards before we get into the Brixton ones, when you look at everything that came out in the past, do you know what some of the most valuable disc golf cards are from those original sets, and what something like that would be worth when you were collecting them? Like you mentioned the Paul Macbeth one. Is that the one that comes to mind?
That's definitely going to be a big one. That 2015 Paul Macbeth has the world title polo he was wearing, and his relic card, which is just for me that's very cool.
Mm.
There are I'm not sure the most expensive card that's been sold. I know we had a Brixton card go for I think it was like $1,200.
Wow.
It was it was a it was from the Golden Era set. It was Calvin Heimberg's first league ace disc, and the disc was in the card, and there were only 5 of them. And
Wow.
on the back of the card, everybody signed it, so your chunk of your disc was like this big, and so
Yeah.
you could see like people, nice ace, like their different parts had different things written on it. So it was a really cool card. And that's like the most I've seen. Now, there in the 2023 flagship, there was a card called the Decade of Dominance, and
Okay.
there was a 1 of 1, and then there were 10 of like the base Decade of Dominance. So each one was really rare. Like you'd be really excited to get just a base Decade of Dominance, but the guy who pulled the 1 of 1, he got offered $2,500 for it and turned it down.
Okay.
Um, so I was like, well, we're almost close to upping that
Yeah.
that that record. And this is just like what I know about. And the community's really good about staying on top of prices, like sold for prices, and just so nobody knows what this stuff's worth. So
Right.
everybody they're all trying to get as much data as they can to figure it out,
Hmm.
and I have my guys that I go to, like, hey, what do you think this is worth? And I have like 3 guys that I'll ask because I feel like they have a really good like grasp of like market value, at any given time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and you led us right into the next part was, we were looking at thinking about the most valuable older card, and it's exciting to hear that the most valuable Brixton card is likely at this point the most valuable disc golf trading card out there. And especially if one does go for $2,500, that's pretty cool to say, you went from an idea and, a hobby that you would have had when you were younger to this idea that came to fruition. And now you can say, me and my company have made the most valuable disc golf card out there. I think that's a pretty good feather to have in your hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and my buddy.
You and your buddy, yeah.
So even better.
No, that's perfect. And can you tell me a little bit, because it sounds like you've got all the knowledge about cards. So when it comes to looking at them and when you're talking to the people that you're getting your advice from on what's this worth, I understand like there's different grades to the cards in that. So those ones that I put in that cardboard box, they may be just opened and placed in there, but they're probably not worth the same as if I put them in plastic. Is that kind of how they work when it comes to trading cards?
Yeah, they're just like a paper or cardboard, and so they're going to get dinged up over the years. Look at a newspaper from 100 years ago that's been like preserved as well as it can. It's going to get weathered. So, yeah, the most avid collectors are going to have a system, and there are opinions on that what the best systems are. The standard protection is going to be like a sleeve. Put it in a thin, flimsy plastic sleeve,
Hmm.
and you can slide that sleeve into what they call a top loader, which is like a more rigid plastic, but there can be some flex there. And I'd say the next step up would be a magnetic acrylic one touch, which is going to be a hard plastic that has a cavity inside where the that'll be sized to the card because there will be varying thicknesses. And it will kind of clasp magnetically, and they'll have little labels that you can put over that magnet if you want. And then you can even go so far as to, um, you know, send off your card to like a grading company to get it encapsulated
Wow.
into a protector with a label and all. It's a little late here, so I'm like, oh my gosh, we sound so silly. But yes, we will send these off to these grading companies and pay them good money to encapsulate them and protect them, and that's the key. And it's just they value them. They value that connection to the player, and that's kind of what it represents is a connection and investment, um, and they value that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen some people do like card openings live and all that sort of thing, and they're opening the cards and they're just using their hands, and then people in the comments are like, well, you've already ruined the value because you're opening it with your bare fingers. Like, is there people that take it to the level where they open them with like the white gloves just to not get fingerprints on them? Is that a thing as well?
Yeah, so there's a Instagram account called uh, I believe it's Noob Life. That's what I know him as. So we're
Hmm.
we're gonna go with that. But Noob Life, and Noob Life is basically our marketing department. So he just opens cards and he makes a video, but he does it with the white gloves and everything. And he always shares them and tags us. And it allows, well, we don't have much time. So just being able to like share that is such a great value. And, you know, just very thankful for the community we have. But yeah, there are certainly people that go that far. I'll get some aggressive emails sometimes telling me what I can and can't do and how I should be doing it. And uh, it's always sometimes they're right, so
That's
Yeah.
yeah.
crazy.
Well,
Yeah.
that's interesting. Now that gives us some thoughts because yeah, we were the ones opening them up as we went and
Hmm.
just doing it on the channel here and on the show. But that's cool to know about that.
Yeah.
Now, when you were talking about the origin of Brixton Disc Golf, you had said that you guys had worked with OTB at the beginning, but now Brixton is the exclusive trading card for the Disc Golf Pro Tour and PDGA. Do I have that correct? And how did that come about?
Um, we're the only one. So we are the exclusive for the Disc Golf Pro Tour, and we are licensed by the PDGA. So it came about. We had success with that OTB product, but we did it for free. And but what it did for us, it allowed us to like create a community, like a market to sell a product to, and it allowed us to gain trust with the players. There It's important.
Hmm.
So it allowed us like that inroad, and at like we sold it to OTB, and that made it easy for like OTB players. But whenever we did the product, it made it easy for us to sell it to the rest of the players. So OTB directly opened one door and then indirectly opened another door for us.
Right.
Sorry, I got excited about OTB. What was the original question?
Well, it was just kind of getting to where, as you were telling us there and getting along to, is going from OTB and then getting to be part of the Disc Golf Pro Tour and then being licensed by
Oh, that's right.
PDGA. So,
Sorry, I was making my way there. We had success with that OTB product, so we immediately kind of ran to well, okay, so then we were like, all right, we sold out so fast that we were like, we need to like do something quick. Um, Give them a place to go, like something to look forward to. And so we took like 45 days and we came up with the Golden Era product, enough where we could, it was the Golden Era product and the Tour Series. And we didn't have it fully fleshed out, but fleshed out enough to where we could sell it to the players to get them involved. And then we could sell it to the collectors, and it was enough where we could say, hey, it's going to be this, and like we were able to at least put out like the headlines, like one autograph in every pack. And so that was kind of served as our like our Kickstarter. It wasn't on Kickstarter, but that's what it was. It was a pre-sale to like get this thing going. And once the pre-sale ended, we like immediately ran to the Pro Tour. I was like, man, please make our lives a little bit easier, because that OTB product, that the OTB product was like 23 players and a dog, and now we're like, we had like 130 players signed up. So like sourcing photos, I was like, I don't know what we're gonna do, Jason. And but thankfully the Pro Tour was like, everything like I could have hoped they everything I could have asked. Like we had an outlet, or we had a plug, but we really needed like an outlet to plug into to feed us with what the infrastructure that they had been building for the previous like 6 or 7 years. So I appreciate that they reinvested into their product, and built out this stuff knowing that there are going to be uses for it. And just hiring a photographer to go on tour is such a like that's expensive. You have to pay this person a livable wage, and then you have to like make sure they're getting across the country, and it's just so expensive just to have photos for all the partners, the disc manufacturers and the retailers and so on. And they knew, like one day we're going to be able to like, commercialize this. So I just appreciate that they like made those investments, made those steps to, for a brighter future, because one day we just showed up and said, can you give us this, and this? And they're like, here it is right here, packaged together for you. And it was just a great experience. But we, immediately ran to them, and we've had success every year. The market's grown. The players are excited about it. The Pro Tour has, found unique and interesting ways to incorporate it more. So it's been a great experience, and just very thankful for the licensing and the opportunities it gives us to just explore the ideas we want to explore, and hopefully get the opportunity to execute them.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's so interesting, so
We
fantastic.
love this. This is such a great
I
conversation.
just want to jump into the comments, because we had a few comments here. Luke wants
I'm gonna go
to
look.
thank you for giving him a pricey addiction over the winter. I'm sure that's a little bit tongue in cheek. He says, tell Ryan he loved the addition of the Deja Vu cards. So he wants to give you a shout out there. And then,
Me too. I love those.
yeah. You mentioned there about the first set that I think you said 27 players and a dog. Now, Tobin has a question here, or a kind of a point. He says, ask about the Hogan card. Brixton fans dub it their favorite card. It includes a piece of his kerchief, Luke Humphrey's dog. Is that the dog that you're referencing?
Yeah, so Hogan was great to work with. He's super professional. He's not greedy. So we had a great relationship with him, and honestly, that's one of the coolest cards there is. I think disc golf can be a little quirky and a little fun, and just in the first like fully produced set, there was a card for a dog, and everybody wanted that card, and even so that there was the relic that had his handkerchief in it,
Yeah.
which is great, and there was even the base card, so it was just a picture of Hogan like kind of laying there,
That's
and
awesome.
everybody had stats on the back of their card, and Hogan's were like naps taken, like infinity, bones chewed,
Yeah.
Love
um,
it.
voice
Fantastic.
status, goodest. Yeah, there's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So that kind of leads me on to kind of because there's this, I didn't know that trading cards was this in depth and this magical. Really, I don't know what other word to say. Like, you mentioned about cards
It's a
in
good
the
word.
early days having discs in them, and obviously we know your Brixton cards have discs and pieces of pros clothing and stuff like that. Um, how do you go about going to a pro to say this is like someone you said about Calvin, his first league ace disc? How do you go up to a pro and say, can I get this disc to cut up or put it in a card?
Oh, I don't.
Okay.
So, well, I do, but like I don't go ask for like, hey, give me that ace disc. Give me your first ace disc.
Yeah.
Like that's just Calvin being like a believer. Like
Right.
just supporting us. Like he doesn't have to do that stuff, and it's when you see people like go that extra mile. And I'm always like, oh my God, thank you so much. But it may
Yeah.
not even be for me, or it's just for the sport and everything. But whatever motivates them, I appreciate that they do that, because it helps, small company, small market, and stuff like that just makes it really special. And I can imagine getting a card with like LeBron James' first high school game winning three, the shoes he was wearing or the
Yeah.
ball he threw. Like we get access to that, and that's special. But yeah, it's getting the memorabilia is a lot different now than it used to be. Uh, every conversation I remember in the early days, like I was like I had this whole thing. I was like I gotta tell him about this, and I gotta tell him about this, and I gotta tell I feel like
Yeah.
I gotta set this up, and now it's much easier. It's like there's almost like a rhythm. There's a consistency as far as like what's asked of the players, and then
Yeah.
we'll have like rookies come up, and we kind of have a like walk them through like, hey, this is what you can expect, and it's much smoother than how it used to be, and thankfully we work with like 180. Last year was like 191, and this year we're at like 182. So it's a lot to manage, and very thankful for the system,
Yeah.
Yeah.
system.
Yeah. Exactly. When you and this is a kind of a random, maybe a bit of a loaded question, maybe, but you said about the discs that are one of one. Like when you put something like that in a disc
Or
or
in a
in a
card.
card, sorry. Um, are you putting it in the card to be like, okay, this is going to be an expensive card. This is going to be like one of those super rare cards. Like, are you knowing that before you put it in there? Or is it, like you said, the community kind of dictates what's a rare card and what's not? I mean, obviously a one of one is going to be a rare, but just what's in the card or
The value.
yeah.
Yeah, the community dictates the value, and we dictate like we don't think in like you know secondary market
Hmm.
dollars. We
Right.
think in like experience.
Hmm.
When they open that pack, what is the general experience? What does the high look like? What does the low look like? And what is that that median experience? And
Right.
that's typically the way we look at it, and it almost turns into like a math problem. And you're just looking at, I looked at a lot of numbers today, and and it is late, but it's just you want to, you just want people to have fun,
It's more about
so
the experience.
that's
Yeah.
my whole thing is I want them to have fun, and then they can determine, like I said, I go to them to ask them what
Yeah.
Yeah.
the value of something is. It's definitely not the other way around.
Yeah, that's
fair.
good.
Yeah.
No. Well, we're going to bring it to the Canadian side for you for a little bit here. We got a couple things. So what we know is we know that our Canadians are big fans of Brixton cards, and including a mutual friend of ours in the chat there, Tobin Isett. And what we heard from Tobin is that he actually has I'm going to put some air quotes for those listening on the audio, an exclusive card of himself, or was it Cameron Todd maybe? So, so he sent us some
And
pictures there.
so Tobin was like an early supporter of ours. The Tobinator. God. So back, like there at one point there was like 8 people in a Discord. Like that's all it was, and Tobin was in there, and it was so fun back then, and it's still fun, but it's just different. But yeah, Tobin was a very early supporter, and I remember because shipping takes longer to get to Canada, so Tobin would always receive his stuff later. And then when he got it, he would like, it was always just special. He would go to the course to open his boxes. He would stop at, was it Tim Hortons, and get a coffee. He'd bring a bottle of maple syrup. He's wearing his you know Team Canada jersey, hockey jersey. It was just the most Canadian thing, and it was, we Tobin like made us feel bigger. I was like, oh, we're international. Like, so thanks to Tobin for broadening us.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you're bringing it back to Brixton. We know they've included some Canadian pros in the tour collection, including Thomas Gilbert. We got Sophia Donica. We have a couple of Chantal Badinskis here. We got an Elaine King as well. Are there any other Canadian cards
Nice.
out there, or some new ones? Is there any new ones that we're going to expect this year? I'm thinking maybe a rookie,
Yeah.
Rebecca Dawn.
Yeah, of course, Rookie of the Year. Super excited to get her on some cards, and
Yes.
yeah, we've definitely had some Canadian representation. You kind of just nailed them all. But yeah, excited to see Sophia coming onto the scene, and she's going to be a great player, and Rebecca Dawn as well. Like, she's going to be a great player. She's already like really getting up there and just consistently putting herself at the top. Thomas Gilbert was in our first OTB set ever, so I feel like he's been in every set
Wow.
we've ever made.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
this
just
is super cool.
want to say that these cards are not they're not handled with white gloves. There is one that's in a plastic wallet there. That's the
Yeah.
Elaine King. Yeah. So
Well, yeah,
We know who you treasure.
that's
there
right.
you go.
Well, we'll let you know, Ryan. We're gonna we're getting closer to the end here of the questions. We could probably talk to you forever, but one of the things we've been talking about, Thomas Gilbert, he's a friend of the show. He's been on a number of times. We reached out to him, and he gave us a little video. So you can sit there and relax for one quick sec. We're gonna put that up there.
Here we go.
Hey there, Train Out listeners and watchers. Thomas Gilbert here. Just here to talk a little bit about Brixton Disc Golf. They are such an awesome card company. I started working with them, like 4 or 5 years ago now, and they've just been killing it year after year, creating such creative and fun cards for everyone to do. Big shout out to Tobin, who is my #1 Brixton card collector and fan. Man, he has probably almost every single card. When I'm signing the Brixton cards in the little trailer with Ryan and Jason, I always know, oh, this one's a 101, probably going to end up in Tobin's hand at some point. So just wanted to give them a huge shout out and thank them so much for all the stuff that they've done in disc golf.
So you've got that support from.
That was so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's nice of y'all to like reach out, and that's very nice. Thank y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You bet.
Yeah, we, like you said, Thomas is I think we can call him a close friend now.
Yeah.
He's been on the podcast so many times, and yeah, if we know that he's interested in something, like he seems to be passionate about it as well.
For sure. Well, as we keep going along here, one of the things we had saw as well was that you've done so many good things for the pros, including the parallel universe sets where you got some cards where there was like, I think it was 25 that were only given to the players and it was up to them on how they disperse them. Like ideas like that just seem really good. And if we understand right too, when you're working with the pros, do some of the proceeds actually get to go back to them? Did I read that right? And if I didn't, that's okay. But that's just what I thought I saw.
Yeah, we we certainly have to be creative, and one of our biggest goals from the beginning is just giving the players a lot of value, and we knew that like it's like we said earlier, small market, small company, so we could only go like so far out on a limb, and so we had to create like ways to give them value. So one of those ways is with the Tour Series product. We have always given 50% of the profits to the players. The format changed last year, but we still give 50% of the profits to the players. And we added the Deja Vu cards last year, which was a new way of, I'm not handing them, $100, but we're handing them, 25 cards, and then they can decide, what those cost, and or if they hold on to all of them, give them to friends, family, fans, caddies, hosts. There's so many. It's just it's a very it's a tool that can do a lot. So that was the goal there, and for a lot of I saw one Deja Vu card, one Deja Vu card go for like $350, and I'm just
Wow.
like, thank God we went down that path,
Yeah.
So this next Tour Series product, and this is, I'm not sure I'd call it breaking, but I haven't said it
Ooh.
anywhere. The Deja Vu is we're bringing it back, but it's called Ransom, and I'm pretty sure that's the name that's gonna stick. But
Awesome.
there's a one of one ransom as well. So each player will get the 25 base Deja Vu or ransom for this year, and then they'll get one of one. And so hopefully that'll make things a little interesting. Like
Yeah.
I'm interested to see like the players' reactions and what they end up doing with those cards. I'm interested to see like the collectors' reactions. And I saw like the Deja Vu cards were very desirable, and I'm just excited to see like, okay, well, let's see what happens with the 101.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Uh,
that's amazing. Because when we first found out about the Deja Vu cards that the pros were going to have, that was kind of one of my questions was, the pros that get them, are they just going to hand them all out on the first weekend and be like, okay, they're out of my way now, I don't have to worry about them for the rest of the
some
season?
did.
Or were they going to hold on to them to the end of the season to be like, okay, I'll hand out an event, or
right. Yeah.
maybe spread them out a little bit. So the fact that they're going to have a one of one,
Woo.
that's so
That's
amazing.
awesome. And I could see the ransom is a good word for that, because it's going to be worth a ransom.
Yeah,
for sure.
exactly.
So
That was
well,
we were going to use it for something else, that design. Then I was like, well, what if we just swapped it out with the Deja Vu? And I think it's a good fit. It looks
Yeah.
like a ransom note. It's cool.
Fantastic. Thank you for letting us
Yeah,
letting
for
us and all
sharing
our
that.
listeners know that. Yeah.
good stuff. And
Yeah.
then
Of course.
as we're looking there too, that's one of the card offerings, and we're just about getting closer to the end here. What was, but we did want to know is the new sets are getting ready to come out. We've talked to one of our sponsors, Disc Republic, and they said they've got some on order ready to come out. Can you tell us a little bit more about what this year's offering is going to look like and what people can expect?
Yeah. So this is the first time that the Brixton line of flagship cards and the DGBT that they've been going since 2016, but they're coming together. And I always say like, oh, it's making like a super product, and not to sound like a dorky, but it really is like a super product. So in this box, last year it was 2 premium cards per box, and this year it's 2.5 autographs per box on average, and then 1 relic card. So
wow.
we do that thing where we're like, okay, it's a premium card, but it's literally 2.5 autograph cards on average, and then 1 relic card. So
Right.
that I'm just super excited for like a box under $100 to be able to hit those headlines, and we can't do it without the Pro Tour giving us this opportunity, which involves some sacrifice from them. So they see the value of it, being able to like create products at that level, and they want to go down that path as much as we do. So this is going to be like a great product, and we're doing our best to get it out as quickly as possible. But it looks so good. It looks so
Yeah, it
good.
sounds
So
amazing.
I'm just super excited to get it out there. If you're on the fence, thinking about getting into cards, that is such a good product to like try out.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go down, first of all, to our Canadian listeners, like please go to Disc Republic and purchase there. It's going to be much more affordable going through them than going directly to us. And thank you to Disc Republic for just bringing our product over there. Every time we cross one of those lines, it's a big deal for us. So I appreciate when they have interest, and they will be like a driving force in that new market.
Mhm.
So I'm very appreciative of them. But when you go to them, you can go and find an XL pack for $10, and it's 10 cards for $10. The odds are improved on that product as well this year. So that is just such a great way to say, you know what, I want to have a little excitement here. I want to share a fun experience either with my customer or with the associate that's working at the store. I want to support the Pro Tour. I want to support my favorite players. And that guy I saw on that podcast once. But like if you want to do that and just get a little slice of what I'm talking about, you can go spend $10 and everybody gets supported. So that's such a big deal, and you're supporting your local store as well.
Yeah.
And then you can bump it up. There's like a halfway between the hobby box
Okay.
and the XL pack. So there is a halfway point that includes it's 4 hobby packs in a box. And so if you're like, look, I bought the XL pack the last 1 or 2 times I've been to the Disc Republic, I'm ready to step it up. You can get that starter box, and it's a great way where you're not fully in yet, but you're getting a taste, And the hobby box is $100, which I get it, $100 is a lot to ask, but it is a great experience, and it does help, the people we connect to, the platforms that support them, and the people that make it local, our local stores, and it supports all of them. So it's such a great way to just interact with the community, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's
I love it. I love that there's the different entry levels there, and
Yeah.
it's like anything. Just try this.
Yeah,
And if
exactly.
you like it, we can step you up. And
Yeah.
if you like it, we'll step you up a little
We
more.
got you covered.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so
Yeah,
amazing.
it sounds like I'm peddling drugs sometimes, and I'm like, give me a little taste.
Yeah. Well, when you talk about the odds of, I just love the odds of getting like 2.5 signatures
Yeah.
and then a relic as well. Like
for
that's
sure.
just,
Yeah.
I love it.
I want to know what the odds of getting a Canadian in one of those packs is, but maybe you don't have those stats and
Well,
figures.
don't you remember the first pack I opened when I had got the packs and Thomas was in that very first pack?
I do remember that. Yeah,
so,
yeah.
It was, and then I think Chantel was in one of the other ones.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was, it's pretty good odds.
Yeah. Well,
100% odds so far in his experience.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, you talked about, the great partnership you have with OTB and then with the Pro Tour, and it sounds like just having this short conversation with you that your passion is infectious for what you do. Now, leading on from that, it makes sense why last year you kind of announced that you had some high profile partners joining the brand as well. Do you want to talk a little bit about who those people may have been joining you early last year?
Yeah, I love talking about this. This is as a disc golf fan, like this was like one of the coolest things that's ever happened. It was last year. Dylan Cease, Paul Macbeth, and Adam Hamish joined the Brixton ownership team, and Paul Ulibarri has been on since pretty much the beginning. When we were going into that phase of trying to get our Kickstarter going, that's when Yuli came in, and he helped us out a tremendous amount. Just trying to get connected with everybody, and when Ken Climo, we would have never gotten to work with Ken Climo if it wasn't for
Right.
Yuli, and that was a big part of Golden Era's success. So that was just huge for us, and Adam's just been so great before he was an owner. Like we were talking about that Artifacts card, that Calvin Heimberg Artifacts. The only reason we made that card is because Adam sent us his President's Cup polo, and we were like, well, we can't put this
Wow.
in with everything else, and so we had to like create a new classic card that with a bigger, larger window to showcase more. It was the year they had Ford on the back of their jerseys, and so
Yeah.
it'd be the big part of the F. It was just so cool. So Adam was always like pushing us, and maybe he didn't even realize it, but he was pushing us prior to being an owner, and just always so enthusiastic, just one of those early supporters of what we were trying to do. So being able to get him at the table was just, it just felt really right. And Paul Macbeth,
Yeah.
Paul Macbeth.
Mic drop.
So yeah, like that's great, and he loves the product, and that he's another guy. He was earlier. I was mentioning Will West, and he made the first disc golf cards in the '90s. Paul Macbeth actually knew Will West and grew up. Paul was younger than him, of course, but he grew up in that area and played in that circle.
Okay.
So he knew Will West personally, and when we released those, we made like a throwback little base set called Discards, which was the same name as Will West, his name. And Will spells his name W-I-L. And on the back of that card, we put W-I-L-L. And I posted one picture of the back of the card in this Facebook group. It was like disc golf discussion or something like that.
Yeah.
Paul saw it and reached out and was like, hey, is that the final card? Because you spelled Will's name. And I was like, oh my God. Now, this was like right after New Year's, and we had spent all our money prior to New Year's for like tax purposes. And so we were like, uh-oh, like, what do we do here? And then, but Paul, like, that was the right decision. Like, like, hey, we're going to go further out on this limb than we want to. We're going to be in a position we really don't want to be, but that's the right decision. You
Yeah.
know, like you spelled that guy's name wrong. You got to get it right. And I'm not sure without like just the natural, like the presence of Paul, you know, Paul saying something, you know, it
Yeah.
just holds so much weight that it knocked some sense into me. I was like, yeah, well, he's right.
Yeah.
And thank God we did it. And it, you know, who knows what other, so he's always been like he's just always like, he's for the entire like professional side of disc golf. He's like a really great North Star that I think a lot of people kind of look to for guidance. And you know, he's not one that's like being persuaded easily. You know, he's gonna say what he thinks is right, and he's gonna let you know, and he's gonna stick to that. And it's good to have that because sometimes, like as much as I'm always trying to do the right thing, there are times where I'm like I'm too in it. You know, I'll be persuaded by something else, and um, it's good to have him as like just a North Star. Like if there's anything questionable, I can always go to him, and
Yeah.
I'm going to get a straight answer that has what he believes is best in mind. You know, which is a very valuable thing to have. And then there's Dylan Cease. You know, he's helped us out already, like a couple of jams. You know. So I just really appreciate that guy. And he, you know, my dad is like, oh, Dylan Cease got me a little respect with my dad, so I
Right.
appreciate that. So yeah, huge thing, and he's in Toronto now, so that's
Yeah.
super cool.
Another Canadian
You know,
connection.
he's in y'all's. Yeah, that's super cool. So you know, hopefully he's just throws a lot of strikeouts for you guys, and hopefully you see him on the course one of these days.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
would be fantastic. No,
Yeah.
it sounds like it's just been a great conversation, and it's just where we started with the origin story for you, and you taking the time tonight with us and bringing us all the way through. It feels like you've been doing this journey for years, but we got to do it in an hour,
Exactly.
which has been awesome.
I just want to jump into the comments again because it's been, so active tonight. Tobin, obviously, he's the man of experience. He says ripping open a hobby box is akin to Christmas morning for disc golf.
Fair enough.
And then,
It's fun.
yeah. And then Dina says she got a box last year for her wedding anniversary.
Hey, that's a smart present.
There you go.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Get the people what they want.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
knowing your partner
Yeah.
when you do that. So that's perfect. Well, as we're talking about that, or go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say thank y'all to supporting the product and purchasing it, especially for like special occasions and stuff. That's super nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Ryan and Daryl, I got to let you know.
Okay.
You know how I do my research, and I totally dig in,
Okay.
usually when I'm preparing for an episode. So as I was preparing for this one, I went down a rabbit hole.
Okay.
I was looking at some of the strangest trading card sets that there were out there. I found one of the favorites. I think that was both of ours, maybe yours too, Ryan, but we were growing up in the 80s. Maybe it was after your time, but it was the Garbage Pail Kids. Do you remember those?
I remember those.
Atom Bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stinky Sarah.
Grossy Josie,
Yeah.
all of that type
Yeah.
of stuff. That was pretty cool. There was actually one even older than that, which was of a TV show.
Okay.
There was a Threes Company 44 card set,
Right.
which even had the pieces that on the backs they turned into a puzzle.
Right.
That was pretty cool. And then one a little bit closer to home that was interesting is a 102 card set that's out there, and it includes iconic British Columbia wildlife, landmarks, and local legends. And it's actually called the Vancouver Island Trading Card Set. Speaking
Okay.
of islands, Daryl,
Yeah.
You've taken a relaxing cruise, however the ship goes down. You manage to swim to an island, and fortunately for you, there's an 18-hole disc golf course. Which 3 discs are you taking with you on the island?
It's that part of the podcast.
Oh,
It's that part of the podcast. Jeremy has a long way, and
my
sometimes
segues are great, Daryl.
sometimes you can see them coming. Sometimes they catch me off guard. But yeah, it's that part of the show where we ask you if you're on this fictitious cruise and the ship goes down. You had a bag, you grabbed it. It only had 3 discs in it. You managed to swim to the island. Which 3 discs would you be taking with you to this fictitious island? And they can be any discs you like.
I thought about doing something like cheeky, like floating disc, but I'm just gonna give it to you straight.
Yeah.
The Banger GT Discraft putter,
Okay.
the Millennium Solstice mid range, and an MVP wave.
Oh,
Those are the
Okay.
three I'm bringing. I think it's a good solid three. Got
Yeah.
a lot covered, and hopefully not too much wind out there on the island.
Well, I'm familiar with two of them. I know the Banger, I know the Wave. I'm not too familiar with the Solstice, so that's the new one for the podcast. Yeah.
well, I think you know what he said. He wasn't going to go with ones that were cheeky for the island, but the wave for
Oh,
the
see,
island.
there you go. He
And
always
if
finds a
he's sitting
connection.
there looking at
Uh,
the sun go up and down, he might get the solstice there.
Yeah.
And just hanging out with Ryan, that's a real banger.
I was wondering where you're going to go with that last one.
Had to be
Yeah.
careful there.
Yeah. That's awesome. And then, so here's a bit of a follow-up question that we didn't prepare for you. If you could take any course, whether you've either played it or it's on your bucket list to play, if you could take this one course and transport it to the island, that's the course that you played with those 3 discs, which course would you have on the island to play until you got rescued?
Ooh, I'm gonna go with Persimmon Ridge
Yeah.
because I know the owners are not gonna leave that course, so at least I'll get to hang out with them, and I'll have 2 people to like help me figure out what's going on. It's a very large course. It's got some ponds on it, so a little fresh water.
There you go.
Um, yeah, I'll bring that course.
Nice.
Fantastic.
That's awesome.
Great answer.
We love asking that question because it always ends up at the end of the episode having us add to our like big scroll of a list of the courses we want to play.
Yeah.
Persimmon Ridge. Add
Yeah.
it to the next line.
There you go.
Maybe when you're in Memphis.
Yeah. There is it relatively close to Memphis or
Probably like 4 hours, probably like 4. That's probably right.
all right. Hop, skip, and a
I'll
jump.
just swoop over, pick you up. Yeah.
Sounds good.
I'm just reading the chat. We got a question from Doc. Oh, that's an idea. Does Brixton box have cards of holes? Imagine if you could collect your favorite course.
Ooh.
Maybe that's an idea for 2027 or
Yeah.
2028.
Well, you were mentioning some like novelty cards, and I love a good novelty card. Like the Hogan card, I think that's fantastic. So I like exploring that kind of space, and we kind of do it a little bit with the next tour series that's coming up. And there are other opportunities for us to kind of explore that space, and not that a course card I just consider it to be novel. But I think we've been talking with Mr. Howe for a long time, trying to basically uh, get like a 10 card set, and get dirt from each of those 10 courses, and put it into it because it is a little difficult. It'll start looking like a book cover. Like it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like you do a picture of like the iconic hole from that course.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do you, how exactly do you capture the course?
Yeah.
Should it be like artistic? Should it be drawn? Or should it just be a photo? So it is a tough like question to tackle exactly how to go about it. So I think including like a relic, even if it is like a little novel, like
Yeah.
it's dirt from a course. I think it's cool. I think there's something to that. But yeah, I would love to do trees. I would love to do different birds, like little woodland critters you come across at the course, different
Yeah.
trees you spot, different types of clouds, even. Like, like if it's, I, I don't want those to like take a slot like I don't want it to take up like a rare slot, so it would be like common cards almost. But yeah, I really love stuff like that. I
Yeah.
Yeah.
think it's cool.
I don't know how often they replace the tee pads. you know,
Oh,
you see
some of
those
the turf,
AstroTurf, yeah.
or maybe a piece from one of the flags that's on the top of the
Yeah, I
basket.
mean, we
type
got
thing.
the iconic Hull one at Hope Goat.
Yeah, our sign.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
for
Yeah, it's
sure.
amazing.
No, great idea.
Well, that brings us to
That'd
the
be great.
Yeah, that brings us to the end of the interview, Ryan. We very much appreciate you being here. I know I've enjoyed the interview.
And everyone in the chat and me as well. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is great. Thank
Yeah.
y'all.
We just want to give you some time now. If there's anything that we haven't mentioned, or if there's anyone or anything you want to shout out, now is your chance.
Yeah, absolutely. My business partner from the beginning, even since we were kids, Jason. He's much smarter than I am, and definitely more talented than I am. So big appreciation for him and everything he's contributed to making this all work. Our wives, my wife specifically, thank you for allowing me to. Like one day, I just randomly told like, I think we need to do this. So I appreciate her like not walking out immediately. And, you know, just friends, family, and just every partner that we've ever had. And just all those people before us, you know, I always say like disc golf cards, like literally like a tree had to be planted or a seed had to be planted, a tree had to grow, had to go through multiple seasons. And then finally, like this fruit of disc golf cards was able to happen. So much had to happen before we ever even showed up, and just appreciative to all those people that you know have put in work, compounding work over the years. I'm sure you have y'all's Canadian community heroes that y'all all know that have just put in so much work to make things possible. So just very appreciative to all those and everybody out there creating media like you guys. Again, making it work, and all the companies out there just trying to make cool stuff and make our sport even better than it already is. So yeah, thanks for all the work, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Really appreciate that work.
Yeah.
Oh, you know,
But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys.
Sometimes it doesn't feel like work.
yeah. It's well on nights like tonight. It's pure fun, and
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah, we appreciate it, and I don't know if it could have been said any better there. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you coming on, Ryan. And you know, in the future, if there's anything that you need help putting the word out there, you know, with all of the momentum you have, you're probably doing all right that way. But if you need to get to that Canadian market, we're more than happy to put the word out there for you. So feel free to reach out anytime.
Every collector is super important to us. We'll definitely reach out. Thank you so much for the invite, and yeah, I'll be happy to come back anytime.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thanks for your time, Ryan.
All right, guys, take care of yourself. Thank you.
Thanks.
See ya. Daryl, what a guest tonight.
That was.
How are you feeling about this one?
You know, when we said that we were going to have Ryan from Brixton Cards, I was like, well, I don't know a lot about trading cards, and you know, so you know,
what are we going to talk about? How are we going to talk about trading cards for an hour? I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, we're going here.
yeah, no, it was fantastic. That you know, there's so much more to it than and it goes with everything. You know, when you think you know the top level of something, when you think you know about something, but then when you dig a little deeper and you get to know a bit more, and then just asking Ryan, you know, just a casual question like, you know, how did trading cards start?
And he's got the history.
And he's got the history, and he knows all about it. And he isn't just in it for the money, or he isn't just like the new thing. Like he knew about trading cards from a long time ago, and and like he said about Will West, putting out that card and spelling his name wrong,
and then having
doing
Paul
it
Macbeth
justice to
come
be
up.
like, no, we can't do this. I've got to honor him, and you know, like, yeah, just amazing.
I did want to ask him then. I'm like, did you keep any of those 2L cards? Because
Right?
those got to be the most rarest
Oh, you should have
cards
done.
out there.
Yeah,
eh?
exactly. Yeah.
So those are those ones that they never got released,
Yeah.
but they're out there.
If you were like, I mean, obviously this was with trading cards, and you know what can be done. But like, if you were gonna, it's like discs nowadays. Like you think of a disc, they were plastic, but then somebody thought, well, what if we put metal flake in the you know, make
yeah.
it sparkle? Well, what if we make it glow? And then with trading cards, what if we take these cards? What if we put a bit of a disc in the card.
Yeah,
How can you
put a
do that? That's
fabric
crazy.
maker.
How can you put someone's jersey in a card?
Yeah, dirt
But-
from a course, he's thinking,
Yeah.
a leaf from a tree, like
Yeah,
all these things that people are
exactly.
suggesting.
Amazing.
And I can tell just by the activity in the comments tonight,
Yeah.
just everybody loved.
There was so many questions, so many comments.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't, it was hard to try and keep up. And, but yeah, everybody was loving it tonight.
It was. They were. It was
Yeah.
fantastic for sure. And we've got so many great Canadian disc golfers. You know that. I know that.
We
So
know
I
that.
had a question to kind of end us off on the Brixton conversation.
Okay.
So we already know we got Sophia, Chantel, Rebecca's going to be in there, Thomas is in there, Elaine King.
Yeah.
If you, out of all the wonderful Canadian disc golfers out there
Mm-hmm.
who don't currently have a Brixton disc golf card, which one, and this goes to the chat, which
Mm-hmm.
one Canadian disc golfer would you want to see next on a Brixton card?
Tim Plamondon.
Timplemond? And what would the card look like? Would it just be a big
It
Firebird
would just
in
be a
his
big
hand?
Firebird. Yeah.
Is he holding it in front of his face?
Yeah.
Or-
He would have him in a fan. He would have like 5 or 6 of them all fanned out in an array.
That's fantastic.
I would say to give you my genuine answer, I'm excited. I didn't get a chance to ask him about, he said he was working with 188 players this year.
Mm-hmm.
We know that Noah Higgins just got promoted to the Prodigy Core team.
Yes.
Like how far down, I don't want to say far down the list, but like, each manufacturer has their different levels. You have the champ team, the, all the different teams. I'm drawing a blank. But like, are we likely to see a Noah Higgins card? Casey Hannemeyer, he's on the, Alexander Paletto, they're on Team Innova.
Yeah.
Where does it go? How far do we need to go? What about you? Which pro would you like to see?
I think that's good. And I think for me, because I'm a little bit always thinking outside the box, and this might be more along the other side of it.
I go on.
So I'm thinking seeing somebody like Ben Smith on
Oh,
a card.
right.
Somebody who's done a whole bunch for the community, seeing Kerry Neal on a card. That
Yeah.
would be really cool. And just those people that we know have
Right.
done so much for disc golf in Canada.
Yeah.
So we get the pros, we get the Gabby Lees, and we get everybody else on there that, get this super rare collector Chad Stance card out there.
Oh, that would be perfect.
That one would be okay for Ryan to put with that name on it.
Did you read the comments?
No, I didn't. I didn't see that.
Sonia also put Chad Stance.
Chad Stance. That
Yeah.
would be the, that's almost like the Hogan card. That
Yeah,
would be
exactly. Wally would be.
Oh, yeah. Wally would be great too.
Get a Wally 100 card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, just all these people. And of course, the pros of Canada. You could make a whole set
Kevin
of
from
Canadians
last week.
For sure.
Kevin's in the chat.
Yeah, Kevin King as well.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Okay, what? That sounds like
I
an
think-
around the basket conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, if you, we're gonna get you to start thinking about the secret word. If you listen this long, we need a secret word. So help us think about that.
Yeah.
And if you've been listening this long as well, thank you so much. Thanks for supporting us. Jump over to Patreon, jump over to YouTube, jump over to Instagram, Facebook, follow us, subscribe, like, comment, do all those right things for social media that help us grow.
And I know I put it out on social media. I knew I put it on Instagram, but I just want to let everybody know that might not be aware.
Oh, yes.
It's taken a while. I've lost a few hairs, but we're, for people that used to listen to us, if you're not watching the podcast on YouTube, if you're not tuned in on Facebook, if you're listening on Spotify, we really appreciate everybody. But if you have been listening in the past on Apple Podcasts, you may have noticed that it hasn't been updated recently. We're back.
We are back
We are
on Apple.
back on Apple Podcasts. The good thing, almost the thing that I'm envious about those people is that they haven't listened to us for a while. It's been winter break. Now they've got hours and hours of Chain Out Podcast to catch up with.
That's right.
Yeah.
So if they're gluttons for punishment and want to hear our voices for 12 straight hours, they can do it.
They can do it.
Yeah. And we appreciate everyone who does. So anyway,
If I have to put up with it, they have to put up with it too.
it's fair. But we appreciate it when you support us that way. It helps us with the giveaways. It helps us get great guests like Ryan on tonight. Anything you
Alex
can do
Penny's a good
to help
shout
us
as
grow.
well.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just-
Nicest man in disc golf.
Bruno was also
that should have been
shouted.
on there.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so many.
We'll just put together the list, send it to Ryan, say,
Yeah.
if you need a set, here's a pre-made set.
There
You're
you
good
go.
to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got some
got them
contacts
curated.
for you. We can help you out.
Yeah.
So awesome. Well, we're going to get right into Around the Basket after this episode. Come on over. We're going to talk about well, we got a quiz is the one thing we've got. We'll be chatting like we always do about the random things we do on Around the Basket, but we've got a Disc Golf Pro Tour quiz. Don't cheat, but we're going to find out how much knowledge you know about the Disc Golf Pro Tour this year and some of the events on it.
Yeah.
So you can join us over there. Did we get a secret word, or is anybody jumping in the comments? Or do you have an idea for a secret word?
I mean, Hogan could be a secret word.
That's a good choice.
That's a good choice. Will with two L's or
Will
one
with
L?
one L.
Yeah.
And then, that, you know how I love to make it fun to incorporate things.
Yeah.
Like, what are you 1,000 rated at is what we did last time.
Right.
Use the name Will
Yeah.
with one L,
Right.
but you can take that word and sneak it into any sentence.
Yeah.
So sneak it in, capital W-I-L. What will you do? How can you put Will in there?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
I like it.
And then if you want to add Hogan because you've got the skills,
Yeah.
put both in there.
I'm the comments that I like the most are the people that get creative, that they'll have the secret word, but then they'll also drop other secret words like words
from the episode?
words from the episode that we haven't necessarily suggested,
Yeah.
but they'll kind of incorporate it to see like, yeah, I listened to the whole episode. Yeah.
Yeah, we love it. And it gets some good traction there, and we have fun replying to you in the comments. And we know the people who do stick around, Daryl, to the end of the episode,
Yeah.
there's one reason they stick around this long.
Do they really stick around just for this?
I think they do. I've heard they do. I heard they want to know. They have so many questions. They're like, do we drop a beat to this, or could we drop a beat to this?
Could you imagine if we did an episode with no origin story, no desert island discs, no, end of show? It would be a riot.
It would be. It would be a riot. People have their favorite things.
Yeah.
And I think this one's going to need to develop more. We might have to go out. I know you used to DJ. You can find those mad
Go back
beats,
and watch the New
those
Year's Eve
AI
episode.
beats or whatever we need so that we can actually amp this up a level.
Yeah, I think, no.
Am I asking too much?
Yeah.
All right. I'm not pulling.
There you go.
Deep cut.
If you know, you know. Dad rap. That's what Sonia's calling it now. This is the dad rap?
The drap.
The drap.
You want to do
All
a
right.
drap there, bro?
Tell me
You
you're
want to drop it like it's hot?
tell me you're over 40 without telling me you're over 40.
That's right.
Yeah.
This is going to be a banger.
Beastie Boys LFG, says Sam. All right. Ryan came on the show and shared his passion.
Collecting disc golf trading cards is certainly in fashion.
The exclusive cards of the DGPT.
Owned by Ryan, Dylan, Macbeth, Jason, and you, Lee.
So many options. Which one to choose is your call.
Just like Pokemon, you gotta catch 'em all.
From Canadian pros to one-of-a-kinds.
Cards with Game Thrown disc? Now that's a find.
If you collect the whole set, that would give you some clout.
And maybe one day you'll get a Brixton card that says...
Chain out. People can spot the ending coming.